great to be here. Thanks for inviting us to tell our story. So Avino's in its 56th year of being in business, and our tagline is a clear path to transformational growth. We've got 3 assets on one project, and I'm here to tell you about how we're planning to go from a junior producer to intermediate status within 5 years. This is to caution you that I'll be making some forward-looking statements. And Avino is a primary silver producer and explorer in the state of Durango, Mexico. Our project portfolio is made up of 3 assets. The producing Avino mine. We produced 2.4 million ounces of silver equivalent last year. We're on pace to do between 2.5 and 2.8 million this year. The other assets are the La Preciosa we acquired from Coeur Mining, and the Oxide Tailings Project, which we just released a pre-feasibility study on recently. Let's go to the next slide. So growth milestones. So completed the La Preciosa acquisition in 2022. We had paid $30 million in upfront consideration. 20 million US in cash and 14 million in shares. The La Preciosa project was purchased by Coeur Mining in 2013. They paid $358 million. So we bought it for 10 cents on the dollar. So we're quite thrilled about that. And we announced last month we have a surface rights agreement with the local ejido groups. These are the coalition that's in charge of that municipality. So they're thrilled about the jobs we're about to create. And we started breaking ground a few weeks ago. And we filed for an environmental permit, which we feel will take 4 to 6 months. And then we can start our decline. We also completed building a new dry stack tailings storage facility. This was a $10 million investment. So now we're using the safest form of tailings disposal, and we're backfilling the open pit because Avino was an open pit mine in the 70s and 80s. So it's a form of reclamation. You can hardly see this screen. Okay. Other things that we've done, We completed 7,500 meters of exploration last year. We extended the known mineralization on the Avino mine at depth 300 meters below the development of the mine. And we intersected the best drill intercept in company history, 57 meters of over 300 grams silver. And within there was 4 meters of over 1 kilogram of silver. So we're thrilled about the future of that. Recent updates. So I mentioned this. I'm running out of time here. So let's keep moving here. So here's the key metrics from the pre-feasibility study on the oxide tailings. We did 150 drill holes into it. Once we completed the dry stack tailings, we allowed the current tailings to dry out, so it was safe enough to put a drill rig on it. So here you can see economic returns, 61 million post-tax NPV with a 5% discount. That's equivalent to our current market cap. So this is not even being factored into the value of the company right now. So we're really, really undervalued. And one of the reasons why is Coeur liquidated their position in Avino. So it put quite a bit of pressure on us over the last 6-8 months. And so there's tremendous opportunity for growth with our assets here. So 26% post-tax IRR, 3.5-year payback period, and capital costs $49 million, $9.71 cash costs, and all-in sustaining will be $10. So with economies of scale and higher grade, we're expecting our costs to go down when we build this out. We have 6.7 million proven and probable reserves from this. This is the first time in company history that we've got reserves. 55 grams of silver and 0.5 gram of gold. 0.5 gram of gold, incidentally, in Nevada is run-of-mine material on heap leach. So this is high-grade stuff. So we're thrilled about that. The nominal processing rate is 2,250 tons per day, 821,000 tons per year, 9-year mine life. Metal recovery, 77% silver, 75% gold. We'll produce between about 9 million ounces of silver over the life of this project and 76,000 ounces of gold. Direct employment, 121 people we're going to be hiring, more additional jobs in local communities. Ease of construction, it's located right on our existing land, so with power, roads, and water there. And local economy benefit, $50 million and $140 million to the local direct municipalities. So here's the location. So it's 19 kilometers away from Avino, trucking distance, paved road to the doorstep of the mine. We've got a 20-kilometer dedicated power line capable of 5 megawatts, and we're only utilizing 3. Plenty of water supply. We have several wells and dams in the area, so no shortage of that. And 100% Mexican labor force. The reason why is because Avino was discovered over 500 years ago by Captain Ibarra of Cortez's army, who claimed to have found a mountain of silver. And the beauty of that is infrastructure's built up in that area. So there's probably 20 to 30,000 people directly surrounding the mine. Here you can see La Preciosa, 1,500 drill holes, geologically de-risked. This was done by Orco. This was done by Pan American Silver and Coeur Mining. It's all in red, so between 150 to 500 grams of pure silver. Here's the hot zones within there. So the red represents above 500 grams silver. The cutoff grade is 120 grams, so it's all of this represents ore grade. 17.4 million metric tons, or 13 million ounces of silver equivalent in the M&I category, and inferred another 4.4 million or 24 million ounces of silver equivalent. This is our initial plan. And so on the surface, we're going to put a decline into, on the far left, you see La Gloria, the La Gloria vein is 300 meters away from the surface. So within 6 to 8 months, we'll be into what we call level 1 and pulling fresh ore out. We're going to ramp down, put in 7 levels. We're also going to be mining Abundancia, which is right to the right of it, and then over to the Martha vein. So the long-term aspects are that we'll be pulling ore from 3 different areas out of 1 mining portal. 2 weeks ago, we started hauling ore. There's material sitting on surface that was brought out by Lewisman back in the 80s. They were a Mexican conglomerate headed by Eduardo Luna, and they put in a development drift and pulled out about 30 to 40,000 tons of ore. It's sitting on surface. We're hauling it to site right now. And the Avino mill is made up of 4 independent circuits. One of the smaller circuits is 250 tons per day. And so we're just rehabbing a thickener tank. And once that's ready in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to start processing this material by way of bulk sampling. Q4 production and 2023 production results. So you can see it's down year on year. And that was because of mine sequencing. We were building there was a pillar that was cracked, so we had to replace it with a concrete pillar. So during that time, we were mining in a lower grade area. So that was supply chain issues affected our output. But in December and January, we saw our output grow because we're into higher grade material now. Cash costs per silver equivalent, $15. All-in sustaining, $21.67. So it's trending down. So as we're improving our recovery rates and mining higher grade, we're seeing our costs drop. Cost per ton, cash costs $61. All-in sustaining, $88. And here's our 5-year growth plan. So the dark blue represents Avino, the lighter blue is La Preciosa, and on the far right, the lightest blue is Oxide Tailings Project. So from 2.5 million to 8 million ounces of silver equivalent within 5 years is the goal. And here's the production profile return to primary silver producer. So 46% of our production this year will be silver, 20% gold, and 34% copper. That's trending higher as we get into La Preciosa and oxide tailings. Undervalued producer with large resource base, so 168 million ounces of silver resources in the M&I category. So it's much higher than our junior peers. And we're the total enterprise value over measured and indicated is 22 cents. So we're undervalued based on that metric. And we feel that's because of the sell-off from Coeur. And Coeur didn't sell off because they didn't like Avino. They sold off because of their expansion at Rochester, and they sold all their non-core assets. Research coverage. So, Tim, I'd like to see your name up on here next year. They recognize that we're undervalued, so that's why they invited us here. So we're thrilled to be here. Thank you. And I hope you come to the mine in short order. And so market capitalization, 80 million Canadian, 62 cents. It's trading at. We trade on Toronto, TSX Big Board, and the NYSE American. We trade between 35 to 100,000 shares a day in Canada and 250,000 to 1 million shares a day on New York. Major shareholders since Coeur liquidated their position. Avino Management, myself as the largest shareholder, and I purchased those shares over the years. Shares outstanding are 120 or 130 million shares and 139 million fully diluted. So upcoming news flow, Q4 and year-end financial results will be out in 2 weeks. And so why invest? We're a primary silver producer and explorer. We've got a large land position with La Preciosa, and we achieved the milestone of getting the Ejido agreement. So now we've started hauling ore. Pre-feasibility study on oxide tailings is complete. So we've got reserves, and adding to the growth profile is the oxide tailings project we're thrilled about. We've got a large endowment of metal, 371 million ounces of silver equivalent. It's over 3 ounces per share. So that's made up of over 70 million metric tons, which is equivalent to 70 to 80 years of mine life. So we've got a proven track record and a 5-year goal, and it's a clear path to transformational growth.